Here again with another Breaking Bad Season 2 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Breaking Bad, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for those of you that are wondering, I've watched this show many times. Join me on the journey of watching or rewatching this amazing show and discussing it down in the comment section. This will be Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 10. The title of this episode is called Over. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. More scenes of people in hazmat suits picking up items by the pool, and Walt's car has broken windows, so that's in the future. Now we go to current. Walt's looking at his hand in the morning after sitting up out of bed. Of course, we last left him punching the paper towel dispenser, and now he has an inhaler to help out with his constant coughing. Morning breakfast time at the White residence. Skyler just wants Walt to relax. Brownie points for taking a nap. Walt calls Jesse, wants to meet. Some time has gone by since the last episode, 4 days out, as Jesse's even been checking the obituaries to see if Walter White is still alive. And they're eating at like a little diner. And Walt tells Jesse about his results, 80% reduction of his cancer, and Jesse says, "That's awesome, that's great, man, Mr. White, you kicked its ass, yo." Walt says, we'll take time out to stay cautious and sell off what we have. Get together party at the White residence. Skyler says Hank makes one mean margarita. And these last few months, Walt's come out of this like a champ, Skyler says in a speech. And then she also toasts Gretchen and Elliot Schwartz, as they made it possible, even though they really didn't, but Walt told her they did. And then Walt says, "Thank you for coming," and cheers. Walt, Walter Jr., and Hank are sitting out by the pool, and Walt pours himself a shot of tequila. And then Hank wants to be topped off, meaning he wants a shot as well, which Walt, of course, does. And then he pours a shot for Walter Jr. And, like, Walter Jr.'s like, huh? And Hank's like, and Walt's like, go ahead. Hank says, better not let your mom see that. Walter Jr. takes the shot and coughs a few times. Walt pours everyone another shot, and Walter Jr. takes it. Walt pours himself another shot. Hank doesn't want to let him, or Walt pours Walter Jr. another shot. He doesn't want him to drink it, and actually Hank takes the bottle away, and Walt gets mad. "My son, my house, bring it back." Walt gets in Hank's face. Walter Jr. ends up puking in the pool, and it's just a weird, like, Hank should have known there was something up with Walter White in that particular scene. How evil he seemed and how, like, pissed he was just because Hank walked away with a bottle of tequila. Jesse's making breakfast for himself and Jane, and Jane asks Jesse if he's working, and Jesse tells her, "I'm all yours," or he's all hers. Walt wakes up with one hell of a hangover and calls Skyler. He leaves a message on her voicemail that he really isn't sure who that was yesterday, but it wasn't me. Something is terribly wrong with the water heater at the White residence. Skyler talks to Ted Beneke about Walt's party and that he's been battling cancer, but last week they got some good news. Walt buys a new water heater. It costs $1,200, but that doesn't matter. He's tired of corroded water and all that. Jane looks at some of Jesse's old drawings that he did like 4 years ago. Jane's dad, Donald Margolis, stops by, so Jane has to sneak through the back to get back into her apartment. And he just wanted to know if he wanted to go out for lunch. And Jesse comes out during this, and Jane kind of blows him off like he didn't matter. Walt's installing the new water heater by himself, And this one's not a tank, it's just like a box that's on the wall pretty much. Walter Jr. is pretty happy. Hot water! And Walt apologizes to Walter Jr. about yesterday. Walter Jr. is like, yeah, but I did as many shots as you and Uncle Hank. And then Walt notices that the floor is damaged as well. Jesse's smoking in the apartment, but he's got like a air filter. And Jane knocks on the door, and he asks Jane what was the deal earlier. And she said she was helping him out and protecting him. Her dad's a hard ass. Jesse says, you acted like you didn't even know me. Says, I'm talking about us and you and me. Jane says, who's you and me? And Jesse says, I'm out of here. Walt goes shopping again, and this time it's to fix the flooring. And Walter Jr. comes home. What are you doing? Walt says, we've got rot. See, that should have been the title of the episode. Rot. Is the whole house going to collapse or something? Walter Jr. asks. Not if I can help it, Walt says. Skyler starts to cry to Ted Beneke at the office. Says it's just hormones. Says nothing's really changed. It's just postponed with their recent news. And Ted Beneke tells Skyler about a time that he had the flu. Skyler's at home now, and it's obvious that she's annoyed with Walt's handiwork. And Walt stops by the table to have a piece of toast and a sip of orange juice. And Skyler asks if he's going to work today. And Walt says, there's rot. And he's got to fix the rot. Jesse's back at home getting high and gets a drawing slid under his door. And it's a drawing that says, Apology Girl. So he smiles that he knows that Jane did this. And Skyler purposely knocks over some pens or pencils so Ted will come to her office and help clean up the mess, or clean the whole mess up. Walt's back to the contractor supply store getting some primer, and Walt looks at a cart that's in the aisle with some familiar items. It's kind of like a tweaker guy, and Walt says, you're buying the wrong matches. Different items, different stores. You following me here? And then the guy gets freaked out and leaves. And then Walt leaves the store without his primer, goes into the parking lot, goes up to the same guy who's with his buddy, and tells them to stay out of my territory. And that's what ends the episode. So pretty awesome episode of Breaking Bad. I'm going to score this one an 8.8 out of 10. We don't have a lot of characters in Breaking Bad, so the same characters predominantly win the character of the episode, with this time being Walt and, of course, Skyler. So I like the episode. I love the line of "Stay out of my territory." One of the greatest lines. I mean, there's other lines. I am the one who knocks, and I'm in the empire business. All great lines on Breaking Bad. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, or Better Call Saul, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash that like button. As soon as I'm done reviewing all these episodes of Breaking Bad, which is going to take some time still, I'll start working on the Better Call Saul ones. I'll re-review every episode of that. I did I think I did the whole last season, but I'll definitely do all of them after I finish this Breaking Bad. So it's going to take a while, but I'll get to it. But Hulk smash the like button to help me out with this algorithm. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Breaking Bad. What would you score it? Who would be your characters or character of the episode? And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel as you're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return. Stay out of my territory.